I have kept quiet long enough. But what they did to Luka, that was personal.
Everyone thinks they understand this Luka trade situation, but the real story? It's way crazier than anyone expected. The GOAT is about to drop a truth bomb that flips this whole narrative upside down. What happened today isn't just news, it's a shockwave that's going to change how people look at this deal forever. And the wildest part, no one can explain how Diddy and LeBron suddenly got dragged into the mess. Their names didn't just appear, they crashed into the drama out of nowhere. One day Luka Dončić is out there grinning, putting up easy 40s like he's playing in practice, and the next day the entire league is buzzing that he might actually be on his way to Los Angeles.
As defenders, is it important that you now have a defensive player of the year candidate in Luka? He seems to think that he's telling us that he wants some.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody expected this. Not even the people inside Dallas' own building. The Mavericks, the team built brick by brick around one man, were suddenly entertaining the unthinkable. It sounded insane at first, but this is the NBA, the place where loyalty lasts right up until the salary cap starts squeezing your front office and your star becomes nothing more than a line under assets. So when that notification popped up, Luka Dončić traded to the Lakers for Anthony Davis and 2 future picks, the entire basketball world froze. Phones lit up like wildfire. Shams pressed send once, and within seconds every outlet, ESPN, Bleacher Report, every sports podcast with a cheap microphone, was screaming. Dallas was instantly the internet's favorite punching bag. Half the fans were convinced the Mavericks had lost their minds, the other half said the Lakers were just being the Lakers, stealing another superstar because they can. But if you've been paying attention, the cracks were there. Quiet tension behind the scenes, strange front office whispers, Luka pushing the organization harder, kids' rotations irritating people, and those post-game interviews where Luka looked mentally cooked. Kyrie's extension was supposed to calm things down, but the chemistry never truly landed. The team didn't look tired from basketball, they looked tired from politics, from vibes, from everything happening behind the curtain. Still, trading Luka was beyond extreme. It wasn't a roster move, it was a detonation. Luka wasn't just Dallas' best player, he was the Mavericks. Every playoff run, every miracle shot, every emotional collapse, every revived hope, he carried it all. Even when the roster looked mid, he turned Dallas into a threat. Teammates adored him. Derek Lively said Luka made defenses collapse like he pulled gravity itself. Derek Jones Jr. said Luka's passing made you want to elevate your entire game. Hearing that now feels like a gut punch. Dallas didn't lose a player, they lost their heartbeat. And don't fool yourself, this wasn't impulsive. People close to the Lakers swear this deal had been simmering for months. Midnight calls, insane cap gymnastics, and a desperate rush to prepare for life after LeBron. And let's be honest, Anthony Davis wasn't proving he could carry the franchise alone. The injuries, the inconsistency, every time he sat, LA looked lost. So the Lakers did what the Lakers always do, they hunted the next megastar. Meanwhile, Dallas spiraled into something between heartbreak and weird relief. Fans were devastated because Luka was everything, but deep down some people knew the cycle was broken. Big regular seasons, disappointing playoff exits. Repeat. Maybe this was the reset button nobody wanted to hit, but everyone secretly understood. Sure, Anthony Davis brings championship DNA, elite defense, and big city presence. Pair him with Lively, Grant Williams, and whatever comes from those Lakers picks, and the Mavericks tried to sell it as a transition instead of a rebuild. You can kind of see the logic, kind of. But let's be real. Trading Luka for AD is like swapping a brand new PlayStation 6 for an old PlayStation 2 that only works after you slap it twice. It forces you to question what loyalty even means anymore. Because Luka didn't just play in Dallas, he reshaped the franchise and redefined the idea of a European superstar in the NBA. But loyalty doesn't fix cap sheets. It doesn't calm boardrooms. It doesn't stop owners from pulling the trigger. Teams don't wait for fairy tales. If the numbers look bad, they move. The vibe is off, they move. It's not personal, it's math, and here's the cold truth. Dallas didn't trade Luka because he failed. They traded him because the system decided it was logical. The timing worked, the budgets aligned. Luka wanted more power. Dallas wanted more structure. Both sides got what they wanted, just not the way anyone imagined. Now the league has a new face for this era. And the craziest part? Luka didn't make a scene on the way out. No cryptic tweets, no drama, nothing messy. He walked out in silence. Meanwhile, Dallas scrambled to reinvent themselves. Early games showed more ball movement, fewer ISO plays, Kyrie stepping up, lively growing and kid looking oddly relaxed with his rotations. But something is missing. You can feel that empty space where Luka's magic used to live, like the city is running on dimmed lights. And if this blockbuster trade taught us anything, it's this: nobody is untouchable anymore. Not even the guy who made an entire fanbase believe again. But just when everyone thought the chaos was finally over, the real disaster was only starting. Because the announcement that followed turned the whole situation into a full-blown PR nightmare.
Luka was important to the fan base. I didn't quite know it to the...
Nico Harrison walked into that press conference like a man stepping straight into a furnace, and it showed immediately. The Mavericks GM sat down looking completely unready for the emotional hurricane waiting for him. He started rambling about long-term planning, roster balance, and organizational vision, but the room didn't care about any of that corporate talk. Fans heard something entirely different. They heard a front office suit trying to justify why the soul of their franchise just got ripped out. Everything stayed calm until Nico slipped up with the one sentence that flipped the entire city upside down, when he admitted he never fully understood how deeply Luka meant to Dallas. That single moment cracked the floor. People went from shocked to furious. How could the man running the whole operation not recognize something every fan on earth already knew? Luka was Dallas. From massive murals across Deep Ellum to arena nights where even the standing room tickets vanished, Luka didn't just represent the Mavericks. He pumped life into the city. He was the identity, the heartbeat, the spark. So when Nico delivered the trade like he was reading a quarterly earnings report, the whole thing felt cold, distant, and tone-deaf. And that's where Dallas fell apart. Maybe the trade was unavoidable, maybe the math forced their hand, but the presentation, the emotionless delivery, the disconnected vibe turned what could have been a tough strategic move into a full-blown PR meltdown. Fans weren't thinking about cap flexibility or rebuilding windows. They were thinking about losing the one guy who dragged this team back into relevance every single night. Luka wasn't just a superstar, he was hope in human form. Then things went nuclear. Luka's father stepped in and publicly blasted the front office for keeping everyone in the dark. That took the situation from a controlled fire to a city-wide explosion. And even though the Mavericks tried to patch the damage afterward, it was too late. The wound was already deep. Dallas forgot the simplest rule in sports: how you deliver the message matters just as much as the message itself.
Bom rekel, kar strani nekaterih posameznikov, mogoče hilavščina celo, da to pa me osebno boli, ker mislim, da se Luka absolutno...
The PR team tried to spin it like some carefully calculated move, but the whole thing landed flat, cold, mechanical, and completely out of touch. Nico's so-called honesty about underestimating Luka's impact might have been genuine, but to fans it sounded like he had just admitted the franchise misread everything from day one. And as the press tour continued, things only got uglier. Awkward interviews, stiff scripted replies, explanations that contradicted each other, the entire rollout crumbled in real time. The city's energy flipped. Fans were furious, the atmosphere felt heavy, and across the NBA, everyone was watching because trades of this magnitude never slipped quietly into the background.
And got the news, and first time I heard it, I thought it was for sure fake. Thought it was a hoax. People messing around with.
The moment the official announcement hit the internet, the floodgates burst open. Retired legends chimed in, every podcast fired up an emergency episode, TikTok creators went into overdrive, and even that one fan who spent years yelling about keeping Porzingis finally got his victory lap. It felt like the entire basketball universe paused at the same time, waiting for the blast. And when it landed hard. LeBron James was the first giant name to respond, and the irony was too perfect. The guy who once broke the sports world in half with the decision was now standing on the sidelines watching another earthquake reshape the league in real time.
Luka is one of my favorite players in the NBA today. From the simple fact of the way I play the game is exactly how I love the way he plays the game.
At first, LeBron didn't even believe it was real. He thought the whole thing was some troll account trying to farm likes. He said he had to double-check the source just to make sure it wasn't a parody page clowning around. But once he confirmed it, he went public fast, saying he'd always imagined teaming up with Luka, calling it one of those rare, once-in-a-generation alignments that almost never come together. And just like that, LeBron's reaction tore the internet into two clean halves. Some fans were hyped like, obviously he's excited, he's getting Luka. Others rolled their eyes, saying LeBron was just playing the media game, doing that polished PR dance he's mastered for years. But even with all the noise, there was something in his voice that felt too genuine to brush off. You could hear it, this one actually mattered to him in a different way. Meanwhile in Dallas, the mood was the complete opposite. Dirk Nowitzki looked shattered, like someone just told him they were tearing down the American Airlines Center to replace it with a giant luxury coffee shop. The man who built Mavericks culture with his own hands was now watching the entire foundation tremble right in front of him.
Starts blowing up left and right, and then looked on social media, and I think I was as shocked and surprised.
He didn't explode, didn't point fingers, didn't throw a single bitter comment. He didn't need to. Dirk barely said a word, but the silence around him was louder than anything he could have voiced. Every long pause, every slow breath, every glance at the floor carried the kind of weight only heartbreak can give. This was the same man who rode out every rebuild, every ugly season, every frustrating possession. The guy who stayed loyal when the team gave him every reason to walk. And now his quiet reaction told the entire story without him saying a sentence.
So it's still a grieving process right now. Miss my hermano. We had a lot of time together. Keith too. And
he was the definition of loyalty. And now he had to watch that same loyalty disappear overnight in a trade that felt more like a spreadsheet calculation than a basketball decision. Dirk's reaction hit fans the hardest because if anyone understands what it means to stand by a city through every storm, it's him. Seeing him look that defeated made the moment feel heavier, like this wasn't a simple roster change. It was the closing chapter of an era etched into Dallas history that it all started with Dirk, the quiet storm in the middle of chaos, and then came the next voice, Kyrie Irving, calm on the surface but carrying weight underneath. He didn't lash out or turn dramatic, but the emotion slipped through every word he chose. He said losing Luka felt like losing a brother, and that line punched the entire fan base right in the chest. But in true Kyrie fashion, he still tried to shine some light into the darkness. He welcomed Anthony Davis to Dallas, talking about balance, new beginnings, and opportunity. You could see what he was doing, trying to keep the locker room from cracking while holding his own emotions together. Fans caught it instantly. Half the comments were like, Kyrie's hurting but he's staying steady. He was the calm eye of the storm while everyone else spiraled. And then Giannis stepped in and flipped the entire storyline on its head.
I want Luka to the Lakers. I want Jokic to the Knicks. I want all the Europeans to go to all the big...
When a reporter asked Giannis about Luka heading to Los Angeles, he flashed that trademark grin and said, "That's so typical for him." But there was more behind the smile than anyone let on. That wasn't just a joke. It was Giannis speaking about culture, influence, and respect. 4 years, international stars were confined to small markets, treated like they weren't meant for the bright lights. Luka going to LA shattered that old narrative in one fell swoop. It felt like Giannis was quietly declaring, "Our time is coming too." The spotlight can shine on global talent just as brightly, and the quote immediately blew up across Europe, the US, and everywhere in between. It spread like wildfire. Then the wild card appeared, Jaylen Brown. Out of nowhere, a clip from Netflix's Starting 5 docuseries dropped, and Jaylen didn't mince words. He called it what it was, potentially one of the worst trades of all time. Coming from someone who spent years in trade rumors himself, it hit differently. His critique was sharp and precise. Losing Luka wasn't just losing points or assists. It was losing an entire identity, a presence that defined a team.
He said the Lakers got Luka. I was like, haha, yeah. Yep. And literally, and he goes, they're trading AD for Luka, and I was like, F you.
It wasn't just a player they lost. It was an identity. That one line, they didn't just lose a player, they lost who they were, blew up online, trending like the opening scene of a blockbuster movie. Then Austin Reeves got pulled right into the whirlwind. Everyone remembered when he joked, "Everybody be like, I got the white boy." I'm like, "It's going to be hell." That quote came roaring back with full force. Reeves spoke again about what he called the white guy stigma in the league, how players like him or Luka get hit with labels before they even get a chance to prove themselves on the court. It was raw, it was real, and it added another layer to a trade that had already rocked the basketball world to its core.
As a Dallas fan, it hurts me, but I'm happy for him that he's going to be able to go out there and be in LA and get to try to achieve his dream of winning.
When Austin Reeves reacted to the trade, it wasn't just basketball, it was deeply personal. He said, "The league needs to judge players on what they do, not what they look like." That line hit fans hard and added an entirely new layer to the conversation. But the chaos didn't stop on the court. The internet veered straight into Hollywood. Out of nowhere, Flea, yes, the Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers, showed up on the same podcast as Reeves. He said that when he heard the news, he almost fell out of his chair. The Lakers trading AD for Luka? Insane. He called it Christmas morning for Lakers Nation, and his energy was infectious. You could feel him already imagining the season ahead as a full-on festival. Suddenly, this wasn't just NBA news, it was entertainment. Celebrity Lakers fans went wild. John Legend grinned like a kid on Christmas, saying he couldn't wait to watch Luka and LeBron take over every night. You could almost see him picturing Crypto Arena transformed into a movie set every single game. And it wasn't just music stars or actors joining in. Athletes got involved too. Patrick Mahomes, a longtime Luka supporter since the Dallas days, admitted it stung to watch him leave. "It's like watching your favorite movie character get recast," he said, and that quote blew up online instantly. Then came Ants Kopitar, captain of the LA Kings and Luka's fellow Slovenian, stepping in to add yet another voice to the growing wave of reactions.
Straight up. Don't let Diddy's world pull you in. One of your teammates already.
He was all smiles in his interview, calling Luka's move to LA a dream come true, not just for the city but for all of Slovenia. The pride on his face said it all. Luka's trade didn't just shake the NBA, it rippled across every corner of sports and entertainment. Basketball, football, hockey, music, everyone was talking about it. His move became a full-blown cultural moment. But through the viral clips, celebrity reactions, and media frenzy, one voice cut through louder than all the rest: Michael Jordan. Out of nowhere, MJ's comment hit social media like lightning. Reporters said he told Luka to stay focused and not get lost in Diddy's world. Instantly, the conversation exploded. Fans dissected every word. What did MJ mean by Diddy's world? Some thought it was a warning about fame, distractions, and late-night celebrity life. Others swore it was deeper, MJ drawing a line between his old-school grind-until-you-drop mentality and the new era where celebrity moves faster than basketball. And of course, everyone immediately connected the dots back to LeBron. Respect exists, sure, but MJ and LeBron have never been close. That teammate-style advice sounded less like guidance and more like a warning: don't become LeBron 2.0. The timing couldn't have been crazier. Not long ago, LeBron was hyping Luka as a once-in-a-generation alignment, destiny bringing them together. So now the whispers are everywhere. Was this really about basketball? Or was LeBron trying to pull Luka into the same Diddy circle everyone keeps talking about? And here's the bigger question. What does this seismic trade mean for Luka's place in the NBA? It's no longer just a jersey change. It's about perception. Is he still the humble European phenom who shook the league? Or has he stepped into the rarefied power zone only megastars like LeBron and KD ever reach? Before the chaos, before the headlines, before the celebrity hype, Luka had already built a legacy player's chase for decades. From jaw-dropping teenage highlights in Europe to that unforgettable rookie season in Dallas, he was a generational force. By his early 20s, he stacked triple-doubles like routine, nailed game winners that defied physics, and unleashed step-back threes that froze defenders in place. Luka wasn't just talented, he was rewriting the blueprint of what a young superstar could be, and then, boom.
Never thought Luka Dončić would get traded at this age, mid-season. Yes, NBA is a wild place, man. If he can get traded, then anybody's up.
The trade bomb dropped, and just like that, everything shifted. Loyalty, greatness, legacy, all up for debate. Fans, analysts, even retired legends began comparing Luka to LeBron, Durant, Kawhi, the all-stars who changed teams and rewrote their stories. Now Luka joins that list. The real question, can he pull a LeBron and turn this into a legendary chapter, or will some fans see it as a betrayal? Jason Kidd predicted this tension years ago. The tug-of-war between team structure and player ambition shapes legacies just as much as rings do. Right now, that tug-of-war is Luka's story. Control versus loyalty. Ambition versus legacy. Media voices are buzzing non-stop. Analysts like Zach Harper and Steve Ashburner called this a career-defining moment. Harper said thriving in LA could skyrocket Luka's global brand beyond what Dallas ever allowed. Ashburner warned about the flip side. LA's spotlight is ruthless. Every pass, every tweet, every sideline moment is magnified. That city can turn you into a legend, or break you. Even Dwayne Wade jumped in. Trades like this are never just basketball. Business, branding, marketing, legacy, all collide at once. And he's right. LA isn't just a city, it's the biggest stage in sports, media, and global fame. Luka in LA doesn't just change wins and losses, it changes endorsements, merch, sponsorships, and international fandom in real time. The ripple effect started the moment the news dropped. Zoom out, this wasn't just Dallas trading with LA. This was a statement. The NBA just reminded everyone that no player is untouchable. Devin Booker said it best, Not everyone's claim is untouchable until the league proves you wrong. Translation: loyalty is secondary to the numbers. And that mindset is flipping the league upside down. Teams rethink star building. Players rethink their careers. Even the meaning of home in the NBA has shifted. Kevin Durant, always blunt, called the deal weird, and he's not wrong. The league has always had drama, but this one shook the floor under everybody. Super teams? Miami stacked, Golden State dominated, Brooklyn went all in. But this new era is different and far more dangerous. It's not just about stacking stars anymore. It's about surviving a cutthroat world where loyalty, money, power, and global attention collide at full speed. Front offices are moving faster, scheming quieter, and planning bigger. Players are realizing it's not just about rings, it's about owning your story. Legacy and leverage go hand in hand. Luka's trade might be the spark that forces the whole league to rethink the future. So yeah, Luka's move isn't just a headline. It's a shockwave reshaping the NBA for years. New super teams, new power plays, new strategies, maybe even a whole new era of superstar control. The NBA of 2026 might look nothing like the league we know, but one thing's for sure. The drama is just getting started. So what do you think? Did the Mavericks blow it, or are the Lakers quietly building the next unstoppable super squad? Drop your hot takes in the comments. And if you're hyped for the next twist in this NBA roller coaster, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications, because you do not want to miss what's coming.